Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're plunging right into the global AI landscape. It's July 2025, and things are moving incredibly fast.
Absolutely. We've got this briefing document packed with recent news, research.
Yeah, and our plan is to pull out the really key stuff, highlight what's surprising, what matters.
Help you understand the big currents regulations, national plans, geopolitics, all of it.
Exactly. So where should we start? The tension seems palpable.
It really is. And a lot of that comes down to regulation versus, well, industry pushback.
Let's talk about the EU then. Their AI Act, they are not budging.
Not at all. They just told over 100 tech companies, basically, no delays. Google, Meta, Airbus were in that group.
And the commission was explicit. No pausing the clock, no grace periods.
Wow. Deadlines are firm. August 2025 for general AI rules.
And August 2026 for the high-risk stuff.
Right. And the penalties. They're serious. Up to 7% of global revenue.
That's a huge stick to wield. It really forces compliance, doesn't it?
It does. It feels like a strategic play. Maybe setting a global standard, forcing others to follow suit.
And speaking of friction, there's this antitrust complaint against Google in Europe, too.
Yeah, from independent publishers. It's about AI overviews.
The feature that summarizes content.
Exactly. Publishers are saying it's tanking their traffic. Significant declines is the phrase used.
We're seeing data on that, too, right? Like zero-click news search is jumping up.
Sharply, from 56% to 69%. People get the summary, they don't click through.
And the publishers feel trapped because opting out means getting dropped from Google search altogether.
That's the dilemma. It really hits the core of content value online.
Okay, so that's one side, the regulatory battles. But then you have nations making massive strategic AI plays.
Definitely. And China's move into embodied AI is, well, it's huge.
Bringing AI into the physical world, basically. Robots.
Humanoid robots, specifically. The central government's putting in something like $138 billion.
Billion, wow. And they're claiming a huge market share already.
70%, they claim. And they're aiming for affordability, like Unitree's G1 robot at just $16,000.
$16,000. That's surprisingly low for a humanoid robot.
It is. Analysts might be a bit skeptical about the speed, but the intent to dominate physical AI seems clear.
Meanwhile, the UK is shifting its focus more towards defense.
Yeah, the Alan Turing Institute is being pushed to focus on defense and security. Future funding depends on it.
Ties into the Prime Minister's goal of boosting defense spending, using AI for, what was the phrase?
Higher precision lethality. It's a very clear national security angle for their AI strategy.
And then India. They're not focusing on robots or defense quite like that, but on infrastructure.
GPUs, mainly. Deploying over 18,000 of them.
Including almost 13,000 H100s. Those are the really high-end ones, right?
The cutting-edge chips, yeah. Critical for training big models.
So what's the goal there? Just having the hardware?
No, it's foundational. Supporting their own startups, building national data sets, multilingual ones, importantly.
Ah, interesting. And AI labs outside the big cities.
Right. Plus, funding deep tech R&D. They expect to invest around $12 billion over 5 years, building their whole ecosystem.
Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk supply chains and geopolitics. It feels like AI chips are the new oil sometimes.
It certainly seems that way. You even have the Trump administration reportedly planning to restrict NVIDIA chip exports to Malaysia and Thailand.
Why there? Diversion concern.
That seems to be the reason. It just shows how critical these components are in global competition.
But all this demand is good news for some, right? South Korea.
Oh, definitely. Samsung and SK Hynix are restarting huge projects because AI chip demand is just soaring.
Like Samsung's P4 line for new DRAM.
And SK Hynix's M15X factory for HBM4. That's the high-bandwidth memory AI needs.
SK Hynix really dominates HBM, don't they?
They do. Almost 70% market share. They invested early and got those big NVIDIA deals. It paid off.
But it's not all competition. There's some collaboration happening, too.
Yeah, this partnership between KAIST in South Korea and King Saud University in Saudi Arabia is interesting.
What are they doing?
Developing open-source AI models together. The idea is to build a more cooperative framework, maybe less reliant on just the U.S. and China.
So Saudi brings the capital, Korea the expertise.
Kind of, yeah. Saudi provides funding and infrastructure, Korea the research know-how, an alternative path.
So with all this happening, regulation, investment, geopolitics, how is AI actually changing industries on the ground?
We're seeing it everywhere. In healthcare, for example, there's that AME project.
Right, the JSS AHER and Google research thing in India, improving diagnostics.
Diagnostics doctor-patient interaction, showing real clinical potential.
And defense, we touched on the UK, but the US Army.
They're creating a whole new career path, MOS 49B, just for AI specialists.
Wow. And that Israeli drone company, Extend.
Setting up a US HQ, yeah. Their drones pass compliance for US military use. AI is rapidly integrating into military tech.
Okay, and what about, say, cars or deliveries?
India's auto industry is moving towards software-defined vehicles. AI is key there.
And drone deliveries are actually happening at scale.
Get this. Sky Air in India, partnered with Arrive AI for mailboxes, is doing about 6,000 drone deliveries daily.
6,000 a day. Seriously?
Yeah, and they plan 500 Arrive points in New Delhi. It's moving from concept to reality really fast.
It's credible. So wrapping this up,
Yeah.
it's clear the global AI landscape is just incredibly dynamic.
Absolutely. Rapid tech changes, huge investments, different regulatory approaches, and serious geopolitical weight.
It really is a lot to track. So here's something to think about. With all these different national strategies and the push for global rules like the EU's AI Act, how do you think the actual rules of the road for AI will get decided?
That's the big question, isn't it?
And what does that mean for actually developing and using this tech ethically everywhere? Definitely something for you to ponder.